There's the Hvar that social media will show you. They'll tell you that it's the very best of the island. Yachts in the harbor, it's the five-star hotels and famous beach clubs, but that's not the best of the island. Hvar at its best is history and tradition. It's rugged adventure, it's quiet afternoons in the sun, even during the heart of the season. The real best of Hvar looks a lot different than what social media will show you. The most prime real estate on Hvar isn't in the harbor. It's been growing in the same fields for over 2,000 years. The Greeks arrived in 384 BC and carved this land into parcels that still shape the plain today. Stone walls dividing vineyards and olive groves the same way they did centuries ago. Empires passed through the Adriatic, borders moved, flags changed, this grid stayed the same. Vines kept producing, olive trees kept twisting towards the sun. The Stari Grad Plain is as ancient as it is beautiful, and it makes for one hell of a place for a scooter ride. In the 1500s, Petar Hektarovich built his masterpiece here in Stari Grad. Part fortified residence, part Renaissance retreat. The outer walls were built thick to protect from Ottoman raids, but inside those walls, he created something truly unique. Petar was a poet and a collector of fishermen's stories. He was an important figure in the Renaissance period in Croatia. He spent decades building the place, not as a palace, but as a retreat. A place for reflection, for conversation, for travelers passing through. Inside the stone walls is a courtyard built around a seawater fish pond. He carved inscriptions directly into the walls, messages about humility, about knowing yourself, and about what it truly means to live. In my opinion, this is by far the coolest house on all of Hvar. Not just for the architecture, but for what it actually stands for. The best beach on Hvar doesn't have a DJ. I'm not even sure it has a name, but it looks like this, even in the heart of the tourist season. Jelsa moves at its own pace. It's a completely different, much more laid-back vibe than Hvar town. That's why our favorite beaches are around Jelsa. We park the scooters and follow a worn path down to a cove with crystal clear water and a jetty that looked way too fun not to jump from. These beaches don't have a bumping soundtrack, just the cicadas singing their summer song. You float, dry off on a warm stone, lose track of time, just you, the sea, sun, and space. The best room with a view on the island of Hvar isn't in a hotel. And to be honest, it's not very easy to get to. But it's definitely worth the effort. Krepcheva Cave sits carved into the hillside, quiet and unassuming. This is Hvar's original room with a view. People were living here thousands of years ago. Neolithic tools were found inside, evidence of fire, of fertility cults, evidence of shepherds making this their home. There's even a legend that this is the very cave Homer wrote about in the Odyssey. But you don't get there alone, you go with Yakov. He's lived his entire life on Hvar. His family were among the original inhabitants of Humac. And when he takes you on this tour, he doesn't just guide you up the hill or down to the cave. He tells you what grows there, what used to grow there. He tells you the traditions and struggles of the village. He might even let you ring the bells of the church if you're lucky. He points out the rock walls and explains that his family didn't inherit fields, they made them. They picked these rocks by hand, cleared the land piece by piece to expose farmable soil. Every stone you see stacked along those hills was lifted by someone who wanted vines to grow there. For generations, the island was covered in vineyards, until a vine pest that tore through Europe in the late 1800s wiped much of it out. So they adapted. They planted lavender. By the early 20th century, Hvar became one of the largest lavender producers in the Mediterranean. If you time it right, you can still see it pressed into oil today. The smell is overwhelming. Jakov gives one of the coolest tours we've ever been on, and we take everyone who comes to visit here. The best restaurant on the island isn't at the end of a red carpet. It's at the end of a tunnel you're probably not supposed to ride through. We had heard about an amazing place on the more wild side of Hvar, so naturally we wanted to check it out. We had no idea the adventure we'd go on to get there. We pulled up to the red light, metering the tunnel, allowing one-way traffic only. We didn't have enough time to read or reason whether we should actually be doing this. For a second, we wondered if we missed a turn somewhere. Then all of a sudden, green light. Time to go. Engine noise bouncing off of rough walls, dust hanging in the air, a thin strip of light at the far end. You ride toward it anyway, twist the throttle and try to dodge the potholes in the center of the road. Videos will seriously never do this justice. The tunnel feels like it goes on forever, and it feels like you're riding in almost pitch black.
Apparently you gotta get through there quick, huh?
The rest of the ride is amazing. Nothing but gorgeous views for miles as you ride along Hvar's more rugged coastline. Then you get to Bilo Idro, the restaurant and tasting room for Zlatan Otok wines. Zlatan Otok grows its vines on the steep southern slopes of Hvar, some of the sunniest terrain in the Adriatic, the kind of land that produces some of the best grapes in the world. This place is known for two things: seafood pulled fresh from the Adriatic and wine stored under the sea. Bottles here age in an underwater cellar, visible through small windows where fish drift past like they're inspecting the vintage. The adventure to get here is at least half the experience, but the food and wine aren't half bad either. In all reality, Bilo Idro is one of the coolest and best restaurants we've ever been to. Lobster cracked open at the table, a glass of poship in hand. It really doesn't get much better than this. It's an amazing location for an amazing restaurant, and the coolest part is, after you're done, you get to enjoy that beautiful ride home. You can take everyone else's word for it, come to Hvar, and leave with a bunch of great photos for Instagram. Or you can get off the beaten path and explore a little bit and find the real best of the island.